Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. And I just had my birthday on Tuesday, so thanks for giving me a couple days off. But we are back at it. Jonny Litecoin's here to talk with us. I just saw a post that he shared that right around 91% of all of Litecoin has been mined, but there are so many projects and opportunities going on. We're going to talk about some of that. Is the time almost up to get all your Litecoin? Or are you just right here at the right time to get all you can and be a part of the next wave of adoption and opportunity? We'll see what Jonny has to say right after this. Welcome back, Jonny. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me back, Lisa. Great to see everybody.
Yes, good to see everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Westwood, Fave, Nana. So I was watching some of your posts. You've been posting quite a bit. There's a lot happening in Litecoin, lots of projects. Last week I hit you up about, what was it called? Fortress Wallet or something?
American Fortress.
Fortress, yeah. And there was things happening with that. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Cake Wallet is got a cold storage option. There's, of course, all the merge mining options happening. So, but at the same time, we're hearing this, oh my gosh, 91% of Litecoin is mined. And we know that, that brings scarcity, which is a great thing, but also, well, what happens next? And we have the story of, the wonderful Doge, Elon's little puppy dog is going to be perpetually or in perpetuity merge mining with Litecoin with Doge. So that will help to sustain or secure the network. I think there's some other ones. Grin, Redcoin, I believe.
No, it's like Bell's coin. There's like not the Pepe coin that we all know, but there is a Pepe coin. There's a Meow coin. There's like 10 coins that you mine when you mine script.
Okay.
And I think the fact that crypto mining, there's so many bullish things for Litecoin right now. And when I say bullish, I mean for the network, the transactions, the usage, and the value, and ultimately the price. There's so many bullish things right now. Crypto mining, I mean, it's only becoming a bigger and bigger business, huge business. And the most profitable coins to mine are Litecoin and Dogecoin. It's more profitable to mine that than it is to mine Bitcoin.
Interesting that you brought up Bell's coin. That was another big announcement in the last 24 hours is that Bell's, one of the oldest department stores in the United States, it's over 100 years old, is now accepting Litecoin as payment.
Yep. They're connected now through that Flexa network, which is pretty cool. Just another cool thing for adoption. Again, there's so much right now. 91% of all Litecoin has been mined. They would just pass this milestone the other day. So if you think about a supply shock, again, we have a halving coming up in 2027. Another Litecoin halving coming up in 2031. Another one coming up in 2035. So Litecoin's only getting more scarce as it's going to be in more demand. So right now is a great time to be accumulating Litecoin, because what's going to happen for the rest of this year, potentially next year, then we have the halving in 2027, and we've seen the last two crypto cycles, even if we still have these cycles, is up for debate. But 2019, there was a Litecoin halving, and Litecoin got really strong in relation to Bitcoin. It went to the ratio went to 55-1. Okay. So that means that one Bitcoin was equal to 55 Litecoins at the peak. Right now, it's over 1,000 to 1. It's one Bitcoin equals, I think, 1,100 Litecoins or 1,150 Litecoins, way out of whack. So, Litecoin is the coin to be accumulating right now. 2023, there was a Litecoin halving. It didn't go down to, again, that was after the FTX stuff and all that craziness. The market was in a real bear market and beat up. That's when choke point 2.0 was at the peak. But even then, Litecoin went to about 200 to 1 with Bitcoin. So still a lot stronger than it is now. But there's so many bullish things happening. The Litecoin ETFs, at some point, they'll be approved. My thoughts on that, where I think that's really positive for the network, the liquidity, everything in general. I think it'll make Litecoin a lot more stable over time, where we have these liquidity events like we had a couple weeks ago when the crypto market crashed. I think when these Litecoin ETFs come out, you won't see the big drop-offs in Litecoin like you have in the past. It'll be behave more like how Bitcoin behaves as far as price.
There was a announcement about an ETF that did contain or have something to do with Litecoin. Where was it?
Yep, that came out recently. There's another one filed where Litecoins, it's a basket of coins, and Litecoin's one of the ones in there.
One of them. Yeah.
Litecoin has 5 of its own ETFs filed. So that's pretty big. That's bigger than most cryptos have. And when you look at the market cap, it's by far the biggest with the most, the lowest market cap with the most ETF applications. So what does that tell you? That's going to, the price could, what they call, gap up and meet the demand that's coming in, just because a lot of, again, Litecoin's been, I tweeted yesterday, some guy purposely left Litecoin out when he's talking about cryptos with no founder stash. And he said, oh, Bitcoin's the only coin with no founder stash. And he mentioned a lot of he mentioned Algorand and other coins that they have a founder stash, but still he purposely ignored Litecoin. And I just retweeted. I said, hey, his overlords won't allow him to talk about Litecoin. You know what I mean? Because it's bad for their narrative. Remember, these people have to pretend to like Bitcoin because that's the narrative. If they like it or not is up for debate, but they
will be attacked if they don't follow along. Yeah,
exactly. But so many other bullish things for we're just at the tip of the iceberg. So there's products being built all over the place. A few big things going on right now. Okay, we have the Litecoin treasury companies. We have Luxfolio, and we have the other one, what is it, Light Strategy or whatever. It was that pharmaceutical company that changed to Light Strategy.
Yeah. And KuCoin is doing a mining pool.
So the Litecoin treasury companies are cool because they're not only are they just accumulating Litecoin, and they're almost like a proxy ETF in a way, they're actually contributing to the network. So you're seeing so much development and people that are building things on Litecoin. Two of the biggest things right now being built, one of them is called LitVM. This is massive because they're making Litecoin compatible with Ethereum and Ethereum EVM compatibility, like the Ethereum virtual machine. Okay. So this LitVM, and companies like Luxfolio are contributing. I'm not sure if they're contributing per se to LitVM, but they're contributing to development, and they're putting money to work to help develop products around Litecoin. So there's so much. That's that LitVM. That guy's talking about LitVM. That
84 million was talking about.
Yep.
The LitVM.
People prefer the majority.
Interesting.
There was actually, if you go to that video, I think it was that video, go to the 10-minute and 50-second mark, and let's watch it for let's watch it for a couple minutes. It's some pretty key info.
Changed to a degree over the years, but how do you see Litecoin and Ethereum working together going forward in time in the so-called digital age, as you said?
Sure. So what I see is that institutions, digital asset treasuries, funds, governments, what they're looking for is trustless ways or ways to accumulate these blue chip assets. And what LitVM does is we've looked at all the blue chip assets, and we've identified that Litecoin, and shout out to 84 million shop wearing my Litecoin shirt here, but Litecoin is the blue chip asset, the legacy coin that's going to grow the most, with all of these large entities coming in and stacking these blue chip assets. And specifically, we think that Litecoin will be very useful, and that these entities are going to want to build strategies on top of Litecoin. Now, currently, if you look at Litecoin, you mainly can send and receive, and there's some really great technologies that are building for Litecoin, and there's some centralized solutions that provide strategies, but it's a cross between trust minimize and fully trusting some kind of custodial service currently for the most part. So what we're doing essentially is giving programmability to Litecoin. It's what LitVM does. So just think, in the future with LitVM, you can do anything that you can do in Web3, but with Litecoin. So we'll have a focus on building out the DeFi layer for Litecoin. So anything in the DeFi suite will be available. Also extending all the great work on the payment side, just more advanced payments, real world assets that are enabled by Litecoin. So we can disrupt different types of categories like music or collectibles, real estate, etc., in this real world asset space. And additionally, we can take runes and ordinals to the next level with, better UI and the different types of solutions that you see natively in Web3, and that will all be available on in LitVM. So essentially, we're just giving programmability to Litecoin, and the goal is to do that in a trustless manner. So instead of relying on some type of vault or custodial type service or trust minimized type service, you're able to do that totally trustless. You own your Litecoin, you participate in Web3 in a robust and secure way.
Got it. And I would think many
Let me
people think
comment
of
on that,
and think
Lisa.
about Ethereum, right?
And that brings me to what I was talking to you about before the show, where I think there's a huge opportunity. I think we've been blessed right now with a gift, where because Litecoin maybe hasn't pumped the way we wanted it to pump, right? Now, if it pumped the way we wanted it to pump now, we might be thinking, oh, fiat gains in this fiat world, right? And, is that what the bad guys want us to think? That's why they're pumping these meme coins. And, hey, you got into crypto, but let's get you right out back into this fiat-based system, you know what I mean? And come back over here. We'll let you feel like you got rich real quick. But you heard what they were just talking about in that clip. You're going to be able to own your Litecoin in a trustless manner, in a decentralized manner, which is what we want. We're not letting the bad guys hold it, and earn off of it. And I think the fact that right now is a great time to still accumulate Litecoin. I mean, if you liked Litecoin when it just ran up 2 weeks ago to $135, you should love it at $95.
Right. It's on sale.
Yeah. At $135, stack hard, go all in now at 95. You know what I mean? And it's like buying land. And some people buy real estate because they want to have tenants in there and they want to collect rent from the properties. Some people might buy it and say, I want to own this land. It's a fair family heirloom. I won't develop it. I don't want to put nothing on it. That's kind of like cold storage. Cool. That's your right. You could do that. But a lot of people buy property because they say, no, I want the cash flow. I want to buy the property. I want the cash flow. If I accumulate enough properties when the real estate market sucks and I can collect all this rental income, I might not have to work because I'm living off all this cash flow that comes in. Same idea is going to apply with Litecoin and maybe certain other cryptos where you'll be able to put these to work, make an income from it. And if you think about it, say you put Litecoin to work, say Litecoin goes up in the next couple months and you're like, and some of these products start to come out, the beginning of this Litecoin DeFi. Say you're making 5 Litecoins a month and Litecoin's at $200. And you're like, all right, I'm making $1,000 a month. Cool. It's a car payment. That's insurance, yada, yada, yada. Now, all of a sudden, say Litecoin, the price appreciates like it should. And we're at a $1,000, a $2,000 Litecoin price. Now you say, wow, I was making 5 Litecoin a month. That's 5 to 10,000 a month I was making. Now I'm putting more Litecoin to work. Maybe the yield came down a little bit percentage wise, but you're still making those 5 Litecoin a month, but it's just on a much bigger number at that point. You know what I mean? So you're going to,
well, now the kind of thing where like as governments are failing and people are looking to replace income, residual income, things like Social Security or whatever, like these are alternatives for people.
This is going to be a massive opportunity. I think, and again, I think we've all been blessed with a gift because, hey, Litecoin's performed better. It's still number 19 crypto. So it hasn't failed us. It's actually in the last year, it's up 35%. So it's outpaced inflation. It's been a good store of value for us if we've been accumulating. Even with it being down, it's still up 35% in the last year. But I think the fact that it hasn't hit 1,000 yet or something like that, we might be thinking different, where now all of a sudden the thought could be like, hey, let me keep accumulating Litecoin while the price is low. Wow, all this stuff's coming out. Now I could put Litecoin to work that, I don't think it was either LitVM or, it was American Fortress, that other wallet that's coming out. That's supposed to be like a Venmo from what the guy's saying, where you're not sending the crypto addresses, you're just sending the names, but it almost makes KYC irrelevant because it makes the KYC done in like a trustless, decentralized, private manner. Almost kind of like what we were talking about, where you make KYC obsolete. But that has so what they're building right now is it's a Litecoin only product. But through that, they're going to be, I guess down the line or whatever, they'll build products out for other cryptos or have compatibility with other cryptos and other wallets they have. Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to do these cross-chain payments where anybody could do it. If you could send Venmo now, you'll be able to do a cross. So if you want to get a payment from me and you want to accept Ethereum for whatever reason or another coin, and I say, hey, I only have Litecoin, cool, Litecoin Lisa, I'm going to pay you, and you're going to get paid in whatever you want. We don't have to know what goes on behind the scenes and connect this and connect that. It's just going to do it for you.
That's something. So way back when I spoke at University of Utah Valley with my friend Charlene, she does Tokens Magazine, and they asked, like, what do you see as the next big hiccup or big thing for cryptos? And I said, we need cross-chain compatibility, just like back in the day when email, which basically, like, if you want to think of a simplified version of cryptocurrency, it's a messaging system. We just happen to, the first entity, we use it as money, or people look at it as coins, or it was used for a system of value or currency, but it is really a messaging system, just like email. And you used to only be able to send people emails. Like if you were on AOL, you could only send to people with an AOL address. Then, one day they figured it out where you could send an AOL person could send to a Gmail or whatever. I don't even know what all the.
And now you don't think about it. If you
Now
give me
you
your
don't
email,
even think about it. Yes,
you
it's
don't
not
think
even
about
an
it.
option.
And the coolest thing is, Lisa, the fact that the decentralized nature of this stuff, we're going to be able to profit from it. When I say deploy money to DeFi, you're going to be able to deploy capital that makes these cross-chain swaps more better, more robust, more competitive rates. You're actually doing, the coolest money in a way has karma attached to it. You're going to be providing a net positive to society. You're not scamming people. You're putting pressure on the banks.
I'm sorry. I'm just I'm comparing it to and I'd love for you to speak on this. The recent AWS attack that was a centralized, there's this big cloud service that everybody uses. Everybody puts their company's information. Governments have all of our information on it. Google, all of these people, it's the cloud. There's this huge hack. We don't even still know the full ramifications of what all was stolen, what information leaked out there. Many banks were down. Lots of information was leaked out. We still don't know the full weight of that hack. But if you have something like Litecoin, which is a decentralized, where like I'm going to put my Litecoin out there into this pool of DeFi. Johnny's going to put some of his coins in there. Somebody else is going to put some of their coins, and those should know each other. Information is going to be exchanged. Messages are going to be sent. Value will be exchanged, and it will not have that centralized point of attack. Am I right there? Is that
well, one of the centralized point of attack? Again, it's just totally. Again, I guess with DeFi, now a DeFi layer could have been affected by AWS. Depends on who's hosting that or who's doing the cloud service. You know what I mean? Are they using that as the backbone? But as far as attacking the decentralized protocol or this cross-chain atomic swap ability, see, again, right now, the banks make money when you transfer value. Now this is going to make us make the money when you transfer value. It takes the profits from them to us. So, and now that'll ultimately bring the cost way down for the end user, because it's like, hey, we're not paying all these extra fees or subject to all this extra stuff because it's a lot more pure. It's, hey, what rate is the pool making or this DeFi making? Oh, they're making 0.25%. Oh, they're making 1%. They're making 0.5%. What's the fee? We go in there. Okay, that's cool. And you do you send your transaction through, and and like you said, how this stuff becomes easy is through things like that American Fortress is talking about, where I just pay Lisa, and it doesn't matter what coin she wants. It just does it, and it's compatible. We don't have to think, oh, gee, I have Litecoin, you have this. Oh, let me convert. Oh, let me do this. Oh, let me do that. So it's exciting, because I feel like this is going to be the opportunity for us. This is your way to be the landlord of what's coming. See, a lot of this Web3 stuff and all that, it might not, like, I'm the kind of guy, does it excite me to use it personally? A lot of this stuff? No. I would want to use a DeFi protocol. Cool. But a lot of this other stuff, and I kind of like my life the way it is, right? But I wouldn't mind being the landlord of this stuff and helping fund it and putting my Litecoin to work and making some money from it. I look at that as Michael Saylor puts out this message. It's like, oh, you never sell the asset. You just want to borrow against it. Well, when we have these liquidity events, borrowing against an asset, that could get you in real trouble. I don't see how that is a strategy of freedom if you keep borrowing against your assets and you're leveraging yourself. To me, that's not really that seems like a trick from the bad guys.
Sounds like there's no end game there.
Or there's no end game. Yeah, you don't pay tax on the loan you get, but you can be liquidated. I'd rather put my asset to work where it doesn't sell and I make an income. To me, that's a lot better than owing somebody and having to risk getting liquidated.
Right.
I don't like
we watched a lot of our friends, or some friends, actually get liquidated with projects like that, with Celsius, things like that. Doing that lending thing. That's
sure.
not always the best choice. That's a risk.
I mean, hey, I lost some money in Celsius. You know, I would, luckily for me, not luckily for me, it was what I preached. I always preached my rule where I said, hey, if you want to play around with this stuff, use 20% of your holdings to play around with this stuff. So keep 80% in your cold storage or whatever. Play around 20% of it. And I always said within that 20%, allocate 5% to each protocol. So now you're in 4 different protocols with your 20%. So if something happened to one of the things and you got liquidated or whatever, you still have 95% of what you had, where it's not earth shattering if you got wrecked or whatever. But I think the important thing is with this DeFi stuff, what happened to Celsius that's not a risk in this DeFi, this cross-chain stuff. Because again, Celsius was the custodian. They were the bad guy. They just tricked us. And they were like, hey, we have this really great protocol. It's easy. People like it. Normies liked it. They logged into an account. They were like, ooh, I'm making this percent. And you could show them, hey, you want a whole dollar, you're making this percent. But again, the company was controlling it. They were the bad guy. So I think with this DeFi stuff, it's us. It's we, the people, running the protocol and providing this. So that's it's exciting what's coming. There's so much coming. Cake Wallet, you brought that up about. They have a cold storage solution, but another cool thing for real world use that Cake Wallet has, they have the best gift card app marketplace I've ever seen in my life in an app of how many gift cards you can buy. There's thousands of different gift cards you could buy for different companies. Like any company you could think of, you could buy a gift card in Cake Wallet, and you could buy it using MWeb. So that's complete privacy. You can take MWeb Litecoin and buy a gift card. You could be out at night at Chili's or Outback or wherever place, McDonald's, wherever the hell you are. You need to pay. You buy a gift card. You want to be completely private. You buy a gift card using MWeb and you pay with that gift card.
I did not know that. I thought that, Kenny Bozak used to use that system to like run his life with gift cards and crypto and all that. And then there really weren't a lot of good options there for a while. And so that's interesting to hear that Cake Wallet has that as an option again.
Look at the work of Joel Valenzuela. He's big into Dash. He's a guy that has no bank account. He lives off crypto. Now he's big into Dash. He does like Litecoin, but again, he's the Dash guy.
That's okay. Yeah,
works with the Dash DAO. I like it because again, even with this American Fortress, it's going to be it's compatible with Dash. So you'll be able to send to a user in there, send to Dash, and send. But he pays he uses all these bill pay services and pays. So he lives his life, pays everything, and he has no bank account. So if you want to learn how to do more with crypto, follow his work.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's really great solutions. Because I think that the more solutions or opportunities that we have for choice, That's gives us more freedom. I know with my flipping business, like I can't use Venmo because I got banned or whatever, but I have a lot of people that want to accept Venmo when I purchase things, you know, on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and then I can't. So I have to either use cash. Well, that's pretty much my only option with them because they won't take Cash App or
What you should
try with crypto and stuff like that. But it's really, yeah, it's difficult.
A great solution in that environment would be to tell them, say, hey, look, you have Venmo. You can enable crypto in Venmo, and I could send you Litecoin to your Venmo wallet, and then you just go in and press sell, and you get the cash. So if you're not into Litecoin, you're not into this stuff, which we can't force people to be into it,
Right.
but it's a way to transact.
We could kind of walk them through it. Yeah.
If they say, hey, I only take Venmo, say, cool, go in, say, do you have the crypto button enabled in Venmo?
That's all they have to do is hit a button, because I don't have the app, so I don't know how to walk them through it.
They to receive, if they want to receive crypto and not send it out, then it's pretty easy, where they would just probably have to answer a couple questions and say, hey, yeah, I want to enable crypto and I'm 18 or whatever, and click, and then they can just create a Litecoin address, and then it's really easy to walk them through. So, okay, enable crypto. Okay, you go in there, you see Litecoin. Okay, here's how you receive it. Maybe I could do a tweet thread about that and screenshot different portions. The steps of how to do it, so I could show people how to do it and say, hey, this is a
and then I'll just send them that link every time.
Yeah.
And I'll stay with Litecoin. Yeah.
And then the people will tell you, well, I don't want Litecoin. And you could tell them, well, hey, I'm just using this to transfer to you. Now, once it hits your thing, just go in and press sell. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Okay.
And, you know, Litecoin's usually, other than like a rare random day, like a liquidation event, usually Litecoin is pretty stable. So they're not going to be, which is an advantage of Litecoin. It's usually, hey, if you send someone $100, they're going to have, now you wait till the end of the day. Hey, it might be 102, it might be 98, but maybe you work something out with them where you say, hey, look, if the price goes down, I'll send you a few more bucks just to make you whole. If it's that big of a deal kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if the price goes up, you owe me a credit for next time.
Right. You owe me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So but again, a lot of, in a world where crypto can really piss you off sometimes, there's a silver lining, I think, with Litecoin in certain things. So even me, I get really discouraged with a lot of this stuff and a lot of the crypto people and things that happen. But then I try to focus on what's coming with Litecoin, just saying, hey, it's an opportunity. You know what? As frustrating as it is, this is the opportunity. And this is the chance to really, again, become that landlord of the future. That's what I want to be. Hey, I want to be the landlord of this future stuff and do it with Litecoin.
It's a huge opportunity, and to see the growth that continues to happen, the development that continues to happen in Litecoin, the community that's strong around it, and once again, the development that's there is just really encouraging. I think the price being suppressed is just a distraction, and I think it benefits the community. So you guys look at that ratio. Johnny and I have done multiple videos about the ratio. Use it to your advantage and become a landlord of Litecoin, and be there for the future. So thanks again, Johnny. I know you've got stuff you've got to get going and get things done today, but I really appreciate you stopping by and giving us some great hope for the future for Litecoin, and see all of this development happening. So we'll see you guys next time, and we'll catch you tomorrow on Happy Hour. Take care.
Thanks, guys.